Hello, friend. Welcome to the Coming Home podcast. I am your host, Dr.Onalee. I'm here to help you really come home to yourself and stop giving your power away to other people and to get really connected with your higher power. The topic I want to talk to you about is money, power, relationships, situations, and your part in it. This concept has the ability to completely change your life if you allow it to. It might not make sense right now, or it might not lock or click in yet. But I trust that right now I'm at least planting the seeds that's going to really, really, really help you. What I have learned through hindsight, through doing healing work, is that every single situation that I felt really upset about, or I felt really rejected, or hurt, or betrayed, or abandoned, not chosen, if I got real honest with myself, like beyond honest with myself, not superficial honest, deep honesty. Every single person that I felt hurt me or walked away or didn't want me, I didn't really want them. Sometimes it's very sneaky and hard to see this because you might feel rejected by somebody right now, or somebody didn't choose you, or they cheated on you. And you feel like they are exactly what you wanted. You really liked them. You're so physically attracted to them. But here's where I want it to go deeper. Are you asking for a dependable, reliable, reciprocating kind of love? Somebody who fully chooses you and sees you? Is that person who cheated or walked away or who isn't showing signs of wanting you back or wanting a commitment, are they really those things that you keep asking for or wanting of them? Or did maybe they show you those signs and characteristics in the beginning, but then they stopped showing them? Here's where you are powerful. You cannot be putting it out there that you deserve better or you want more and also end up with somebody who's not doing or being those things. I know it might be sneaky. I know it might be subtle. I know that there might be some situations in your life that are very obvious. Okay, yeah, I can see. I really didn't like them. But Dr.Onalee, I really don't see it with this person. I really thought they were my soulmate. I really thought they were my twin flame. I really thought they were the one. Be so honest. If you can't be honest, you won't see your power within the situation. When we don't see our power within situations, this is where we stay stuck and we repeat cycles and patterns and behaviors until we learn the lesson that we are powerful. The dude who moved out on me with no warning while I was gone one day, he was absolutely not what I actually wanted. I was lying to myself saying that he's the one and we're going to get married because I was operating out of scarcity, feeling like I was running out of time. And this person was close to certain characteristics, qualities. But if I was really honest, they really just painted a fantasy and a facade of what I thought the relationship would be and who they really were. Once I was in the relationship with them, a complete narcissist, I saw it was totally opposite. Everything that they were portraying was a complete illusion. It was a fantasy. It was a projection. It wasn't actually who they were. Yet here I am thinking, oh, we're going to get married. We're going to have this life together. Here's where I want to show you an example of my power. The day before, my friend, the day before, I wrote in my journal asking God for the kind of man that I want. Then he moves out the next day and I'm so shocked and I feel so betrayed. How silly is that? Here I am asking God what I really want. This person moves out. I've had many instances where I say, God, make it clear and obvious. Is this person meant for me? I was at church one day, I was praying with the people, and then I go to coffee and donuts with this person. And we have an argument, and it's very uncomfortable. And I did not like the way that they spoke to me. And yet, then I'm sitting there apologizing, even though they were a bit condescending, if you will. And I didn't realize it until later that day, maybe even the next day, actually, where I went, oh, wow. I just asked God to make it clear and obvious, but here I am wanting to cling tight. I don't want it to be clear and obvious like that. And I didn't recognize it in the moment that I just prayed, God, make it clear and obvious. Sometimes we forget our prayers. But it's a reminder of how powerful we are. I can't be saying I want this kind of relationship, this kind of person, and then I'm in a relationship where there's bits and pieces that feel off and expect that to work. So I really want to share all of this because I want you to see and know and learn your power. This was my karma, my lessons, my agreements in order to just get to the point where I understand power. Power is I am not going to sit feeling like a victim. I'm not going to sit feeling rejected. I'm not going to sit feeling not good enough because somebody walked out of my life. Somebody moved out on me with no conversation. Somebody ghosted me. That would be my lower self, my insecure self, who would operate from feeling insecure, not good enough. That's doing a complete disservice to ourselves and to the world. We need to be empowered for our lives to function and to work. So for me, one of my lessons was to really call my power back and see my part in these situations, which was they actually weren't exactly what I wanted. For example, if you feel like you can't come up with enough money for a certain thing or something you keep saying that you want, a mentor or course, what within you doesn't actually want it? What within you doesn't actually feel worthy of it? What within you is afraid to actually do the work? What within you is afraid, what if you sign up for this and you're still stuck? And so you don't even want to go find out. What I need you to see here right now is that you are powerful. Another example, I needed to get an ultrasound, but I broke my word. I said I didn't like this OBGYN. I felt she was very narcissistic. I felt very tense and very uncomfortable with every conversation with her. And I said, I need to find a new OBGYN. I got an infection, a urinary infection. And so I needed an OBGYN. I need to go right now. But instead of actually taking the time to find a new OBGYN, because I didn't feel like dealing with that, I just went back to this person who I said, I'm done with. I don't want to go here anymore. Even though there's so many OBGYNs, all I need to do is call my primary care or look it up and get referred to another one. And it takes probably 5 minutes, but I didn't want to do that. So I went to this OBGYN and I couldn't afford the ultrasound. Like I could not make it work. And I felt so upset. I'm like, how can I afford a freaking $3,000 bag, but right now I can't afford a $75 ultrasound? Like, what in the hell? I don't understand. I don't understand. It was like 20 minutes after the appointment. They couldn't even see me anymore. I could not come up with the money. The money was going to come in too at like 2 p.m. that day. It was like 11 a.m. and it was 11:20. And I go, okay, fine. I surrender. And so I went, you know what? My PCP is right downstairs. I'm going to go downstairs. Maybe they can see me. And then I said, is there actually another OBGYN? They said, yeah, there's one actually right next door. I'm like, why didn't you send me there? I go over to the next office. This office is gorgeous, luxury, gold and emerald green. It's beautiful. It has white granite countertops, marble. It's just gorgeous. It's stunning. The staff is so wonderful. They are so nice. They are so loving. I couldn't believe the difference between this office and the one that was just upstairs. So much more my style, so much more comfortable. They had an appointment at 3 p.m. Like I said, the money was coming in at 3 p.m. The doctor was amazing. I felt so comfortable. I felt so safe. This office was so bright and so beautiful. And then you know what? Payment started flooding in that day. My jaw dropped. I went, what? Oh my God. I couldn't come up with like $30 to pay the remainder of the ultrasound because this was waiting for me. This, where I actually want to be going to an OBGYN. This story can highlight and show you where something's not working because it really is not meant to. And sometimes this is where it's even harder. Here's what would have been harder. If I did have that money, barely anything, right? Pennies. I would be making a decision and staying stuck in a situation because I had the money and just written it off and said, okay, this is fine. This is good. I love that I got lessons back then when it was about the money, because it taught me that when I do have the money, I need to make sure I'm very discerning and mindful of my choices and decisions and that I am my word. If I said I don't want to go to this primary care provider, I need to not go to that primary care provider. The lesson served me, right? Can we see that? But then moving forward, I got to make sure that I am doing what's best for me and in integrity with my word. Because sometimes, yeah, it's hard when you do have the money to pay for a certain mentor. Maybe you say, I'm never going to work with that mentor. I didn't get results. And then you get tempted when you see that they put out an amazing offer and they're speaking exactly to your soul of what you think that you want. And you do have the money. And so because you have the money, you go ahead and put that money down. That's where it gets even trickier. That's where it's harder. It's easier when you don't have the money, I think, to be honest, with making decisions. Oh, don't have the money, can't do it. But what about when you do have the money? Same with relationships. What about when you do have your confidence and you do have your power and you are independent? You're not relying on somebody. Are you going to keep going back to that person that keeps hurting you because it's comfortable or because they're very tall, like you said that you wanted? Or are you going to stand in your power and see they weren't fully what you wanted? Yeah, physically you may have been attracted to them and you feel really clear and really good. You love hanging out with them on the couch, but then they ghost you for 3 days. Is that what you really want? And how many times have they done it and said that they aren't going to do that and then they do that? Is that what you want? No, this is where you got to see your power. Your powers you don't want. I'm speaking into whatever situation it is. This is one of mine. You don't want somebody who ghosts you for 3 days and doesn't care about you and even want to just say hi or how are you, just because you're very physically attracted to them and they're very big and warm and all those things. And you love eating pizza together, hanging out on the couch, and you're very physically connected. Do you really want to wonder if they're coming back or not, or if they care about you, to not be able to share your day or say hi or anything like that? Is that what you really want? No. Oh, they come back and they just want to come over and hang out and eat pizza and hang out on the couch. Oh, okay. Because of that desperation of, I haven't heard from them. Now I hear from them. Whatever they want, I'll do it. No. Your power would lie in, if you still do want to see that person, you not being open and available for that behavior. If you want them to take you on a date and they keep not taking you on a date, you have to not be available for that then. You have to choose what you're available for, and that requires saying no. So that's what we're going to close on. Our power is really owning how we didn't fully want that person or that thing. If you're deep and honest with yourself, our power is also being able to say no, even when you don't see other options, but you will not tolerate and stand for behaviors that keep hurting you or keep making you feel less than or not chosen. You are the decider. You are the chooser. Being able to handle rejection. Being okay with if you disappoint somebody by honoring your heart and yourself. You have no idea how much more money and love and joy and peace and abundance are going to come to you when you learn to say no, when you are not open and available to bullshit, when you do not tolerate half-ass relationships and behaviors from other people. You can't not be a magnet. You're willing to walk away, you are beyond powerful. You're willing to say no, beyond powerful. Not open to just hanging out on the couch when you usually are for a whole year or maybe 3 years, powerful. Because we get really hurt when we disrespect ourselves and we weaken or lower or lessen or remove our boundaries and commitments with ourselves. Our power diminishes in a second when we do that. When we hold true to our standards and our boundaries and we respect ourselves and we say no and we're okay with rejection, rejecting people and being rejected, that's when you remain in your confidence, in your love and your money. If you struggle with up and down and up and down and up and down, it's literally just, I'm in my power, not in my power, in my power, not in my power, in my power, not in my power. I'm confident, not confident, confident, not confident. We shift into not confident when we break our words and our commitments and our standards in the name of scarcity and lack and needing to be loved and approved. When you know you're good enough, when you're secure in that, and it's not dependent on your money, your looks, or anything, your relationship status, bank account, you are unstoppable. And all of those things will increase and start working out for you beyond belief. So, my intention with you is that you really call your power back and actually understand what power really is. For example, when I would be hurt and insecure over the people who left me or didn't choose me, I dampened my power when I'm so upset and so hurt by what they did. And I regained my power when I said, you know what? As much as I did like certain aspects of that person, they weren't fully what I wanted. So my power was that God, of my understanding, was not going to allow me to stay in a relationship and settle when they weren't fully what I wanted. And I had a lot of lessons of that, a lot. But I had to get very honest and see it's not that they were hurting me. It's not that I wasn't good enough. It's not that the other person was prettier or better. It was that they weren't fully what I wanted and what God put in my heart. And so it wasn't a match. And yeah, it hurt and it was painful, but I get to see my part. I didn't really actually really truly want them. At least not the way that they were showing up and behaving, or I was not physically attracted to them. So be honest with yourself. Call your power back. This will help you release all of the pain that you've created and all the feelings of insecurity and unworthiness you've created from being rejected or not chosen. When you can call your power back and you can see your part and you can see how it really was working out for you and they just needed to do what they did, even if it was very painful, it was to serve you to get to a place where you really embody and own your power and unapologetically own your desires. And then you unapologetically wait and endure and have patience and stamina for what it is that you really want, which is the hardest thing. And almost nobody does this. This is why everybody settles, they get divorced, and their life is just in shambles. It's, again, not bad. If you got divorced, you got out of the situation. But I guarantee if you look back in hindsight, you will see the signs, the flags. We always do with all the painful situations in our life. It's not bad. It's not wrong. We gain wisdom from it. We learn from it. We really get to see our power in it. But you will be amazed when you have the patience, the stamina, the endurance to really wait for what it is that you want and be able to say no, even if something is so close to what you want. Watch it all unfold. I am expecting miracles. I'm expecting messages in my inbox of how much this episode changed your life and how many more blessings and everything that it is that you've been asking for starts to come into your life. Watch this multiple times in order for it to really land. And I'm wishing you so much power, so much joy, so much of the real, whatever it is you're looking outside of you. I'm wishing that within you. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll keep